Oh, man. Good morning. Happy hump day. It's Wednesday. Right? Right. Yes. Buongiorno. And here we go. It's that time. We're going to be talking about diets. Like I mentioned, having a little diet talk. What's up, Karen? You're first. Congratulations. Well done. What's up, Frederick? Hello, Edwin. Good to see you. What's up, Daniel? Daniel, my brother. Howdy, howdy, Susan. What's up, Andrew? Hello, Nathaniel. Good to see you. What's up, Alex? What's up, Statutory? I hope everyone is having a lovely hump day. What's up, Dana? Good to see you. What's up, Urban? What's up, Spider? What's up, Greg? What's up, Urban Robles? Emmy, what's going on? Hey, Dan Gold. Andre, good morning from East Los Angeles. I stayed home on my birthday to watch Get Your News On With Ron. Happy birthday, Andre. Happy birthday. And you should come out to the next Politics Night at the Dojo. You are on the guest list for a belated birthday present. Urban, you coming to the Fort Worth show? Can't wait to see you there. What's up, Tim? And we're almost at 30 already, so we're going to be starting really soon. What's up, Mystic Warrior? How are you? Good to see ya. What's up, Goldilocks? Thank you for that. Goldilocks says, hit the like. I like that advice. We are over 30. What's up? Welcome to Get Your News On With Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. That means you guys send me ideas. We talk about it together. You send me what's going on in the news. We got a lot to talk about today. We're probably not going to get to everything, and that's okay. Our topic for today was by request. You guys wanted to talk about diets. Some people have been tweeting me some diet stuff. I've been doing a couple different diets over the past, I guess you would say 2 years. So let's talk about this. So this was sent to me. The 16-8 fasting diet explained. Now, you guys know I did a variation of the intermittent fasting. In fact, I actually did this. I did, for 16 hours, you don't eat anything. For 8 hours, you do eat stuff, and you can eat whatever you want during those 8 hours. So here's what it says here. What are the benefits? What are the health benefits of fasting? So here's what the article says, which made me feel a little bit better about my experience. Wow, I stumbled over that word. Effortless weight loss isn't one of them, despite what you may have heard. Small studies suggest the 16-8 and any other form of fasting may indeed help people shed a few kilos, but that on the whole, it's not much better for weight loss than calorie restriction, just eating less overall. So what it really is trying to do is to try to limit your calories. It makes you want to just eat a little bit less. And I kind of like that because that's been my experience with intermittent fasting. When I did intermittent fasting, I did not really lose any weight. I gained weight in some cases. Basically, if I was being a little more lax about my diet, I would gain weight. If I was a little more strict about it and careful, I stayed around the same. I did not really lose much weight. I don't think I lost any weight. I think I actually gained weight overall when I did intermittent fasting. And, I'm a short guy, so gaining weight is very easy for me. Losing weight is not horribly hard, but it's hard to lose it and keep it off. I gain it very, very easily. Losing it's not as easy. And, and I think that goes for a lot of people, but, I'm a really short guy, so when I gain it, it shows. When I gain weight, it shows immediately. I don't, because I'm a short guy. Where's it gonna go? It's like there's not a lot of real estate here on this dude's body. Let's just go to his face. Let's go. I guess I don't know. On my body, I'm guessing that my face is the hipster neighborhood because that's where all the fucking new weight moves. It's just so this is the hipster neighborhood of my freaking body. And everything's like, let's just move to the face. Hey, we're some new weight. We're going to the face. My face is my body's hipster neighborhood. I bet I could make that into something. I feel like I'm gonna tweak that later. I feel like that's a funny idea maybe that I could tweak. So let's talk about diet specifically. So that's been my experience with intermittent fasting. Now, the other things I've done is I went vegan for a little while, and that brings us to present, actually. So I'm going to talk about that last. What I'll talk about in between there is the Whole30 diet. So I've done the Whole30 diet multiple times. What that is it's a diet that emphasizes whole foods. Whole foods, not the store, but whole foods, the concept, like fruits, vegetables, meats, and no preservatives, no soy, no like sauces and stuff. Most of them you couldn't have. You know, you could have like herbs and seasoning if it was just, you know, the herb itself, basically. You couldn't have anything processed. You couldn't have any sugar. You couldn't have any, anything like wheat related. You couldn't really have, like, cereal was out, pasta was out, rice was out, which was a killer for me. Potatoes were in, so it wasn't a nix on all carbohydrates. But it was a very strict thing, and you're only supposed to do it for 30 days because it's not healthy to do it indefinitely. It's just too much. You could have basic fruit juices, but nothing that had like high sugars or, you get the idea. So I did that twice, and it's a very difficult diet. For the first 5 or 6 days, the first time I did it, for the first 6 days, I felt like shit. I felt like I wasn't going to make it. Then on the 7th day, I felt fantastic and was able to do the diet, but was pretty happy when it ended. You know, I said, I did the Whole30 diet. On the 7th day, I felt fantastic, almost as fantastic as I felt when I ate pasta again. And the second time I did the Whole30 diet, I still had a positive experience. I felt good, but I decided it was the last time I was going to do the diet for a number of reasons. First of all, it is extremely high protein. You have to eat a lot of animal proteins to do that diet. And so it's incredibly expensive. Like, it's not cheap to do, and it gets a bit much. And a lot of folks that do those types of diets on the regular, the kind of high-protein diets, the keto diets, or the Whole30, or variation of those types of diets, it's not crazy uncommon to get some issues with cholesterol. And for me, you can lose a lot of weight. You can do that. But it's also not totally out of the ordinary to have a couple issues with cholesterol. As somebody who heart issues run in his family, I decided I'm not going to do these types of diets anymore. My grandfather had 3 heart attacks. The third one killed him instantly. My other grandfather had a heart attack or 2. My dad has had some heart issues. So I'm susceptible to that. So I was like, you know what? This is going to be my last time doing that diet. My dad also had prostate cancer, so I'm susceptible to that. One of the things that is not a good thing to do as far as prostate health goes is to eat a lot of red meat. You should try to stay away from red meat. So for a number of reasons, I decided the last time I did the Whole30, I was like, okay, this is the last time. I'm cool that I did it. It was overall, like, I'm not, it was a good test. It was a good discipline, but I don't want to do it again. On the Whole30 diet, the second time, I lost 7 pounds. And I think the first time I lost like 4 or 5. So that was my experience there. Now, vegan. Going vegan. I went vegan, and I'm still doing it. My experience with going vegan for the month. So me and my fiance, we were like, well, let's try it for the month, see what happens. That's like, typically when we try a new diet or try a new eating habit, lifestyle choice, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whenever we try that, we usually do it for a month and then check in. So I checked in yesterday because it was a month, or 2 days ago, excuse me. It was the 4th, was a month. I lost 5 pounds going vegan, and my experience has been overwhelmingly positive. I instantly felt great. And I found that going vegan is actually, in my experience, very easy. Now I'm hyphenating my experience. There's my asterisk, my experience. So look, I live in the Los Angeles area. In my neighborhood alone, there are 3 vegan restaurants. There's a phenomenal vegan pizza place. Buffalo cauliflower is the craze here, so you can get it as easily as you can get actual buffalo wings. So, I'm prefacing that because I don't know how easy it is in rural areas. I don't know. I can't speak to that. But in my experience, it was very, and I will say this, a lot of the vegan cheese I get from the Target in my neighborhood. Because it's close to me, and they sell vegan mozzarella and stuff like that, and I use that to cook with a lot. Like I wanted to make a vegan eggplant parmesan. Next, I wanted to do a vegan chicken parmesan with seitan. But anyway, so I think a lot of grocery stores at this point, like where I live, we have Ralph's and Vaughn's. Both have a lot of vegan food easily available. And the other thing I didn't realize was how many things you can still eat that are, considered vegan. And for me, the big thing was not having to alter my pasta habits at all. I was able to have pasta for the most part. So, the only thing you got to look for is, if there's eggs and stuff, you got to look for that. But admittedly, I wasn't always that militant. I didn't always ask that question. And I do know some vegans that eat eggs. So I know that technically deviates from the rules a little bit. But, so although I didn't eat eggs for the month. So my experience with veganism has been very positive to the point where I'm just still kind of doing it. Me and my fiance both are. Like, she said she kind of wanted to continue, and I was like, yeah, this is going well. I lost 5 pounds, which is almost the same as, it's a little bit less than when I did the Whole30, but it's been such a better experience. It's been a way better experience. Like infinitely better. Vegan pastries are excellent. I've always liked vegan desserts. Vegan ice cream's great. So I have had an overwhelmingly positive experience with veganism, better than any other. And I know vegan, it's technically not really a diet. It kind of is, but I've had that's been my best experience so far. With intermittent fasting, it was fine, but the whole idea, I didn't really feel like I was actually doing anything, because in that 8-hour period, I could just eat whatever the hell I wanted. And because I knew I could do that and felt like I was still dieting, I would just be an asshole for those 8 hours. I'd be like, yeah, I'm gonna go get froyo, and then I'm gonna wash it down with a donut because this is a diet. And it's like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. So, and it's not the intermittent fasting diet's fault. It's my fault. Like, it's not like like if you look up stuff on intermittent fasting, it said, asterisk, Ron Placone, be a fucking moron, and go eat pizza, wash it down with frozen yogurt, and then go drink, because you're a fucking moron. You can go do that, Ron Placone. Just have your 16 spot. It doesn't say that. That's on me. That's my fault. So let me go to you guys, see what you guys are saying about your dietary experiences. And again, I'm not trying to impose anything on anybody. I don't judge at all. I'm not trying to be, one of those like I'm not trying to preach at all. You guys wanted to do a dietary segment for me to talk about my experiences, and that's been my experience. One of my big guilty pleasures for most of my life has been deli meat. I've always been a big fan of deli meat for years and years. I'm not going to tell you that I've had tofurkey that tastes just as good as the real thing, because that'd be a freaking lie. But I will tell you that all the vegan cheese I've had is just as good as the real thing, and when you eat it, you don't feel bloated after. I like cheese. I hate the way it makes me feel after I eat it. With vegan cheese, I get all the benefits, and none of the drawbacks. I don't feel like shit after. It's healthier. Although a lot of that stuff's not particularly healthy per se, just like the real thing isn't healthy, but it's better. And you don't feel like shit after. So I'm probably just going to buy vegan sliced cheese all the time now because it tastes just as good. And it also, it's the same price. You can get a container of vegan cheese at the grocery store for about $4. That's how much sliced cheese costs. At least where I live, that's how much it costs. So there you go. And, you know, speaking of tofurkey, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you the tofurkey I've had is as good as the real thing. That'd be a fucking lie. But I will tell you that when you get a wrap, you put some tofurkey in, you put some cheese on it, you put some mustard on it, you put some vegan mayo on it, tastes just as good. You're not going to know that you're not eating the real thing. Tastes just like a regular sandwich. Now, if you just have a slice of tofurkey, not going to be just as good. But not in my experience anyway. I haven't tried it all. But in my experience, I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you, say it tastes this good. But in a sandwich, it works. All right, what are you guys saying? So that's our diet segment. What's vegan cheese? It's usually made with cashews or something like that. Mick Resistor says, I don't mind vegans or vegetarians. I mind that the vocal minority of them feel the need to constantly proselytize you. Yeah, that is true. And I'm with you there. That's why I'm saying, look, I'm not preaching to anybody. I'm just talking about my personal experience. That was my personal experience. Not trying to impose it on anybody. Daniel, my family is from Wisconsin. Ron, vegan cheese is considered a sin. Daniel, I love cheese. I feel ya, but I love the way I feel after I eat vegan cheese, not after I eat the real thing. I feel like shit when I eat real cheese. Ron, what about an exercise cardio program to accompany your diet? My exercising habits didn't really change. I go to the gym somewhat regularly. I do basic lifting. I do usually an elliptical machine, and then I do sit-ups, like on the sit-up machine. So I don't, you know, for me, it's kind of like I just have to be consistent, but I don't go as hard at the gym as I should. I should go way harder at the gym than I do, but, you know, I'm consistent. I like exercising. It clears my head, and I'm able to watch a hockey game or catch up on some Netflix while I exercise, which is great. The Wi-Fi at my gym's pretty solid, which is groovy. And sometimes if I'm just on the bike, I like to do my reading. Keep in mind the ancient Greeks, they really emphasize expanding your mind and exercising your mind while also exercising your body. That's why the gymnasium and the academy were oftentimes in the same building. We still kind of practice that tradition to this day. A college campus is likely to have a gym on it, same with a high school or whatever. But we don't actually conjoin them, which they kind of did. And I see benefits from that. If you're ever just on a bike, try reading something. You'll find that it really, you just feel good overall. It's like your mind is moving and your body is moving, and you really feel like you're just in a good rhythm. And I'm sure there's more science behind it that can explain it better than my, you know, bullshit hippy-dippy explanation. But, you know, the premise is there. So, let's see. Have to take you out and get the incredible burger. People say it's the best veggie burger ever. If you ever come here, you're referring to New Mexico, Tim, and I am coming. I gotta do that, but I am working on it. And yeah, there's this one vegan place in my neighborhood where they specialize in Beyond Burgers and Beyond Meat burgers, and you build your own burger. And first of all, you can get a pretzel bun. I love pretzels. I know we talked about this. Pretzels is my favorite snack in the world. I eat too many of them in one sitting. We actually have a thing, my fiance and I, where she has to cut me off at number 6. If I ever take it to number 5, she's got to say something. Like, she's got to be like, dude. And I can be like, you're right. I love pretzels. Too much. Too much. There's sodium in those things. It's not, it's not a bad snack in moderation. There are way worse snacks one can indulge in. But I really fucking love pretzels. I think it's a Pennsylvania thing. Philly's big on pretzels, so is Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh. So you can get a pretzel bun at this place. So already I was like jizzing in my pants. So, I got a pretzel bun, and then you design your own burger. And they have vegan pepper jack cheese, vegan provolone, vegan American, vegan cheddar. And then they have, the fixins you would want, pickles, tomatoes, obvious, the obvious stuff. And you can design a fuck of a burger. And then they have these buffalo tater tots that are to die for. It's called Real Food. It's called Real Food Daily is the name of the place. So again, I'm open. Like, I'm totally saying, look, I know that helps. Like I know that I'm saying like, oh, like I'm not trying to be like being vegan so easy. I understand where I live, it's very easy. I can't speak for everybody. Himalayan salt fucking rules. Dana gave a shout out to Himalayan salt. And yeah. Jennifer says, I just can't listen to anything but music while working out. I used to be that way. I totally did. Renee, hello from Denmark. Good to see you. And Mr. Gone, this is a cool shout out. I want to say this. The author of Fight Club, Chuck Palahniuk, said he loves to write at the gym because the blood is flowing and your mind is clear. He's absolutely right. And I will totally tell you, this is kind of funny, Mr. Gone, that you bring this up, because one of the things that really made me do that more was I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast with Chuck Palahniuk when he talked about that very thing. Chuck Palahniuk, the author of Fight Club and the author of Choke, which is actually my favorite book of his. Choke is a really good book. But anyway, he would talk about how he would like to write in public, and he would like to write in the gym while he was working out, and he would just like write down ideas, record ideas. And as far as sitting down and actually writing, he calls that keyboarding, which I think is really cool. So his whole concept on writing is I need to be engaged in life. I need to be living in it. I can't just sit alone and blah, 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 which I can when it comes to writing. I can do that. Like, I'll just sit at my computer, write jokes or whatever, or write, a script or whatever else. But yeah, that really made me want to read, to read more when I'm at the gym and to engage in that type of stuff more when I'm at the gym. And I still love to listen to music too. I mean, I still love to just, do all that. All right, so let's move on to other things because we have a limited amount of time today. And the reason I say that, I'll make a quick announcement before we totally move on. At 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, so it would be 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, I am going to have a segment only on YouTube. We're only going to be on YouTube for this one, but I'm going to have a segment with Peter Douche. Peter Douche, the Democratic strategist, he's going through a really rough time right now because Hillary's not going to be running. So I'm going to be having a segment with Peter Douche. So we need to sign off here around 10:45, and then I'll be back, shortly after. All right. So let's move on to some other stuff. We got a lot to talk about. First of all, breaking news. We talked about the net neutrality bill yesterday, said what we can look for in it, what it needs to have. Good news, it does have what it needs to have. This is from Free Press. This is breaking as of this morning. The Save the Internet Act offers real net neutrality protections. The Save the Internet Act would restore the entire 2015 Open Internet Order, including the rules it adopted, the protections and precedents set forth in the text of the FCC's 2015 decision, and the Title II framework under which broadband internet access is classified as a telecommunications service. And the bill itself is 3 pages long. Ed Markey released the bill. It is 3 pages long, and it pretty much says the Internet Freedom Order of 2017, that's gone. And what we instilled in 2015 is back. We're restoring the free and open internet laws of 2015. That's back. What we did in 2017, gone. That's pretty much all the bill says. It is 3 pages long. So no bullshit. It basically says what we used to have, that's what we're going back to. And what we used to have was proper net neutrality protections with a Title II classification. So that's what the bill has. That's good news. And here's a piece from Evan Greer of Fight to the Future that I think really sums up what we've been going through. Trump killed net neutrality. Congress is getting a chance to bring it back. So the repeal of net neutrality was one of the most unpopular actions by any government agency in modern memory. So the bill's passage can't come soon enough. That's the Save the Internet Act. This is straightforward legislation that overturns Ajit Pai's corrupt move. The bill's passage can't come soon enough. It's been less than a year since the FCC repeal went into effect. The telecom providers who pinky swear that they would behave have been quietly testing the limits. Researchers found the country's largest cell phone carriers, including Verizon, AT&T, and T-Mobile, were deliberately slowing streaming speeds to popular smartphone apps like YouTube, Netflix, Amazon Prime, and NBC Sports. In an extreme example of the danger posed by letting companies that run our communications infrastructure operate without oversight, Verizon, and we covered this on the show, was caught throttling the data services of firefighters battling the worst wildfire in California history. And these are just the cases we know about. Meanwhile, none of the alleged economic benefits that Ajit Pai promised would result from his repeal have materialized. Instead, Big Telecom is laying off workers, prices are continuing to climb, and though Pai claims investment in new broadband access is soaring, it actually isn't. And we talked about that. We talked about how infrastructure is actually declining, and the only reasons for optimism is because different communities are opting to build their own infrastructure. They're opting to build municipal broadband because they know these big telecom companies are corrupt. They know they're going to price gouge them. They know letting them come into their communities is a bad investment, so they're opting to do it themselves, which again is the permanent fix for this entire issue. Municipal broadband all across the freaking country. But in the meantime, we need these net neutrality protections back. Why? Because without them, we could lose the medium as we know it. Once you lose a medium, it doesn't come back. That's just how it goes. That's how it's always been. And if they gut the internet from us, which they can do, it's over. We're not going to get it back. So this is a good thing. Now, it needs to get through the Senate, and it needs to be signed by Donald Trump. How likely is that? Not very, but with a little public pressure, hopefully we'll see some positive results here. But the good news is that the bill is what we needed it to be. There were 3 Republican bills that were fake bills, that were bullshit net neutrality bills. This one is a real one. And let me see if I'm pretty sure there's a call to action here. Let me see if I can find a good one. Go to battleforthenet.com. There you go. Let me see. So now my computer, of course, is being all weird and uploading slow. Battleforthenet.com. That's where you can go to contact your lawmaker and urge them to support this. All right. There's the update on net neutrality. So that's a little bit of good news, but we still got a long way to go. All right. Here is some more good news. Berlin is set to hold a referendum on banning big landlords and nationalizing private rented housing. Let's see what's going on here. Berlin looks set to hold a referendum on banning big landlords and expropriating their homes into social housing as part of a response to growing complaints in the German city about the cost of living. The proposed law would bar landlords with more than 3,000 homes in their portfolio from operating in the city. 3,000 homes. The real estate behemoth has become including the city's biggest property company, Dutch Wonen. That real estate behemoth has become a favored target of activists who claim its business is an example of the kind of speculation which they blame for driving up rents and property values. The expropriated homes, an estimated 200,000 would be covered, would effectively become the German equivalent of council housing, let out at social rents in a bid to reduce the cost of living. The city, which is its own state under Germany's federal system, has a local constitution which provides for a system of binding ballot initiatives, or Volksentscheid, which allow framework for holding referenda. Though the initiative must first collect 20,000 signatures, it is likely to find them quickly. The activist proposal has sparked extensive coverage in the German press. Wow. The left-wing Die Linke party supports the plan, as do some Greens and center-left SPD representatives. The so-called Red-Red-Green coalition in Berlin, made up of those three left-of-center parties, has made building affordable housing a priority and is also engaged in a more modest plan to buy up private housing of its own. And keep in mind, what they consider center-left would be, in the United States, considered far-left. What they consider center-left is far-left in the United States. You know, I always love to tell people, I feel like in most, in most countries in the world, I would just be considered left-leaning. In the United States, I'm considered, watch list. Like, yeah, he's on the left. Most of the world, yeah, he's on the left. In the United States, watch list. Better keep an eye on this guy. So this is pretty awesome that Germany is trying to do this, and they're targeting the right targets, the big landlords, who price gouge the rents. And when you control that many properties, you're going to price gouge the rents. You're going to up the rents, and they're saying, you know what, you shouldn't be able to do this anymore. And I am all about that. And this also shows what you can do locally. The cities can kind of combine and coalesce to make this happen. To make this public housing, to buy it back and make it a city-run investment. That's awesome. That's awesome. Pulling something like that off in the United States, I'd imagine would be a lot more difficult just because of property laws and stuff like that. And, and I'm sure Germany has their share of red tape to overcome too, but I know they're a more, they're kind of a more progressive, nurturing society compared to the United States contemporarily. So good for Germany, and it'll be interesting to watch this unfold and to see how they pull this off, if they pull this off. And it's really cool that there's a movement to do this. So I look forward to watching it unfold. All right, let's see here. Here's some science news that I might not understand that's going to blow my frickin' mind. Scientists 3D print biohybrid animal with rat heart, cells, gold, and rubber. Holy shit. Scientists genetically engineered and 3D printed a biohybrid using rat heart cells, gold, and rubber, opening the door to lifelike robots, artificial intelligence, and cyborgs. The biohybrid could be mistaken for a baby ray. The tiny, flexible swimmer is a product of a team of diverse scientists. They build the most... So here it is. There it is. It kind of looks like a stingray. And they 3D printed this frickin' thing. So this is amazing. They're 3D printing these like stingray type organisms, but we can't get a high-speed rail in California. We can't do a rail from San Diego to San Francisco, but we can frickin' build. We can create living creatures. Holy shit! Look at that. That's a 3D printer did that. It's a biohybrid animal. So, Kevin Parker is the Harvard professor who's researching how to build a human heart, and he saw his daughter entranced by watching stingrays. God, how badass do you have to be like, hey, you like stingrays? I might be able to make one of those. What if I made you one? You want a pet? I'll make you one. Doesn't sting. So cool. This guy, he does that. Harvard. People there are wicked smart. You like stingrays? I'm making one. Boom. Man. Kevin Parker. I know absolutely nothing about this person. Like nothing about him except what I'm just reading. But just based on this thing, man, does he sound badass. Watch him be like some horrible human being. I know nothing about him. I'm sure he's not. I mean, I don't know why he would be, but yeah, anyway. The quest for material led to creating an artificial ray with 3D printed rubber body at the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences at Harvard. Scientists at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, the University of Michigan, and Stanford University's Medical Center joined the team. They reinforced the soft rubber body with a 3D printed gold skeleton so thin that it functions like cartilage. So this is a fragile frickin' ray. Geneticists adapted rat heart cells so they could respond to light by contracting. They were then grown in a carefully arranged pattern on the rubber and around the gold skeleton. The muscular circuitry is one of the interesting parts of the research, and there's more about it in this video. All right. So what does this mean? These scientists have pushed the current limits of robotics and biology, enabling both to move forward with projects like this as a start rather than the end. However, many claim this is an extremely disruptive technology. This could lead to better research to do things like creating an artificial heart, as well as other organs and possibly even brain tissues, which are made of a hybrid of technologies. On the other hand, they can be said to be playing God, raising ethical and philosophical questions about what it means to be alive or a robot or something in between. All right. I don't really fear the playing God part because I don't really believe in a God, but I do, as far as when you see these robots that are able to like open doors and shit, and when you hear like when you see the things where it's like they'll start making decisions, then it gets kind of like, holy shit, what if they took us over? And I know we've done like some robot stuff, like we've uncovered some quirky articles. It's certainly not a field I'm an expert in by any means, but it is pretty fascinating, as is this. And I do know if we could somehow figure out a way to, create artificial hearts and stuff like that, that'd be an amazing medical breakthrough that could, potentially save some lives. What we really need to do is start planning on how we're going to adapt to climate change, and hopefully, hopefully we can pave some ground in that, which was a weird metaphor to throw out there, talking about paving shit when we're talking about climate change. But anyway, hopefully we can do that. And hopefully that's kind of hopefully we're more in the camp of, hey, we just made a fucking stingray, as opposed to the camp of, we can't do it, train can't do it, build a fucking stingray. So that's what I'm gonna go. If there's like if there's next time there's an opportunity. You know what? When I go back to my town hall for municipal broadband, which is going to be coming up soon, I got to bring that up. I got to bring up, look, there's this dude at Harvard. He builds stingrays for his daughter. He 3D prints a living stingray. Hey, here you go. You like stingrays? Check out this one. It's cartilage. Don't pet it too hard or it'll die. But, hey, I did that. You mean to tell me we can't have city-owned internet? We can't build an infrastructure for city-owned internet? We can't do that? We can't do what cities way smaller than Pasadena have pulled off? This dude. Let's get the Stingray guy. Ask him if we can do it or not. And then he'll bring his daughter. He'll be like, would you like city-owned internet? And she'll be like, yeah. And he'll be like, all right, fuck it. I'm building it here. And I'll be like, thanks, Harvard dude. Yeah. I figured it out. All right. Let's move on to one more thing. And then we have to dismount. So I'm not going to get into this today. I'm not going to have enough time. We'll go here instead. This is some shitty news, guys. Top U.S. general calls for more troops and warships to counter growing Russian threat. Top U.S. general overseeing U.S. military operations in Europe warned of a growing Russian threat Tuesday. They're armed with all kinds of internet memes saying he is not comfortable yet with the deterrent posture of U.S. military in Europe and its ability to deter Russian aggression. He warned that his... All right, so General Curtis Scaparotti issued the warning in response to a question from the chairman of the Senate Armed Services Committee, Oklahoma Republican Senator James Inhofe, who asked whether European Command has the right posture and capabilities to credibly deter against Russian aggression in Europe. Scaparotti, the commander of the European Command and the NATO Supreme Allied Commander Europe, specifically requested 2 additional naval destroyers to join the 4 already stationed in Rota, Spain, to help counter Russia. I've asked for 2 more destroyers. I'm worried about Russia, Scaparotti told the committee. Scaparotti's warning and request for more forces comes the day after the top U.S. and Russian generals met in Vienna to discuss the situation. Oh, interesting. They talked about Syria, where U.S. and Russia don't agree. Gee, that's interesting. Generals met, talked about an issue where the U.S. wants to do one thing, Russia doesn't want them to do that thing. So then they're like, we're worried about your aggression. We got to be more forceful there. It would be beyond catastrophic if we engaged in a military dispute with Russia. It'd be freaking horrible. But here you have generals going, yeah, we might need to do this. We talked about something where we definitely don't agree, where we want to do something for our own interests. They don't want us to do it. And now we're worried about their aggression. And this will not be reported about much by the corporate media. Why? Because they're too busy pumping neo-McCarthyism 23 hours and 15 minutes a day. And that's why stuff like this can just sort of go under the radar. Awesome. Wonderful. Well, talk about ending on a shitty note, right? Let me go to you guys, see what y'all are saying. That was some bad news to end the day. I should have done the Stingray thing last. That's why I should have done the quick update on, hey, World War III, they're banging on the doors. But let's go to this cool fucking Stingray. Let's end on a high note. We should probably end with cool fucking Stingray. So my bad for not ending on the cool fucking Stingray. But let me see what y'all are saying. My Italian accent needs work. Well, I speak the language. Ti parlo italiano? Parlo italiano molto. Perché ho la famiglia a Bologna e Firenze. E ho studiato in Italia molti anni fa quando vado a scuola. Was that better? What's up, Melissa? Aaron says, Russians are worried about our 3D Stingray army. The cartilage is too soft. They can't fight. Let's see. Russia and U.S. will never engage in intentional direct conflict. I hope not. It's just more chest beating and maneuvering. Yeah, but it sucks. MN says, I take it back. Placone! When I do it when I'm reading an article, it just sounds goofy. No more sad note endings. I feel ya. Dave Rubin is going to Pasadena on Friday. Are you going to be in the audience to call him out on his bullshit? No, I will not be. Friday night, I have my own things to do. I want to get on stage myself. And to me, that's way more productive than heckling somebody at a comedy show. I don't see anything to gain from that. So, yeah, I'd rather do something more productive with my time and something more rewarding with my time. Yeah, you know, if you're in the area and you check out that show, go for it. JFK prevented this Russia stuff once, and that could have ended Belly. Parli molto bene, says Josefina Perulli. Ho bisogno di praticare molto, Josefina. Ho usato di praticare di più, ma è difficile adesso perché non ho non amici che parlano italiano. I don't have any friends that speak it in this town. I used to have a speaking group I would go to, and then I went to I went to something else. I used to listen to CDs in the car. Ray, it would be cool if you went to Washington, D.C. No to NATO next month. I am. I won't be in D.C. until June, but I will be there in June. June 12th. Tickets available now at romplacone.com. There should be no law regarding cannabis, says Trendy. There should be a law regarding cannabis. That law should be it's legal. The law should be it's legal. There's the law. You should do an opera. I do not have the talent for that at all. I do not have. You don't want to see that. I used to be able to sing okay. I play music for fun. It's my hobby. But yeah. I tried to tell a joke in Italian once, and it went. My family laughed. I think they were just being nice, though. I don't think I was actually funny, but they did laugh. So dare to dream. When is the next bonus Get Your News On with Ron? In 45 minutes, me and Peter Douche are gonna be going live. Like Italian punk music, send me some. I don't know of any. I tried to find some. All right, so I got to get out here because at 11:30 Peter Douche is coming on. But when I was in Florence, I studied abroad there, so I was there for a while, and I did find a record store, and I was asking about like where I could find some like homegrown music, and the guy actually didn't really have many resources for me, but I did come upon a not throw up. That was a like a kind of like pop up. I said throw up. There were people throwing up, but I came across a pop-up crust punk show in the middle of Florence that blew my. I mean, it was just so interesting to see something like that. It was in the middle of Florence. There were all these, Italian punks. They all had dogs, and it was pretty interesting. But as far as actual Italian punk music, I've never heard any. Send me an email and let me know if you have any. That would be awesome. And now I'm hungry for pizza. Negazione is a hardcore punk band from the 80s from Italy. I'll have to look that up. I really will. Guys, we are out of time because I got to go. In 45 minutes, I'm going to be on YouTube live with Peter Douche. Peter Douche and I are going to be talking about the fact that, Hillary's not running. He's going through a hard time. And guys, I know that we have our disagreements with our centrist comrades, but Peter Douche is a good comrade, even though we disagree. He's a Democratic strategist, Peter Douche. But on this channel, yes, Frederick, on this channel in 45 minutes, Peter Douche and I will be live. So please do tune in, and please be kind to him. I know he's not for Medicare for all. He's for single prayer for all. He's not for the fight for 15. He's for the fight for 10-ish by 2040-ish. So we definitely have our disagreements, but we're going to have a nice chat. So, guys, thank you so much for being part of this. Hopefully I'll see you on 45 minutes. We will be back tomorrow, too. We'll be back in 45 minutes, but we'll definitely be back tomorrow. Same time, same channel, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time. Tour dates coming up. I'm going to be in the Gulf next week. Come see me and Graham Elwood. We're going to be in Lafayette, Louisiana, Oxford, Mississippi, Pensacola, Florida, New Orleans, We're touring Texas in April. April, we're going to San Antonio, Austin, Fort Worth, Houston. May, we're going to Salt Lake City and Boise. June, we're going to the East Coast. We're going to be in New York City, Baltimore, D.C., New Haven, Connecticut, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Boston, Mass. Tickets for all those shows are available at ronplacone.com. I'm going to be in Indianapolis on May 1st. That's just me. Graham's not going to be there, but I'll be in Indianapolis May 1st. I'm doing my first house show of the year, April 19th in Boulder Creek, California. If you live in that area and want to attend, email me. Tickets and information for all those shows available at ronplacone.com. And you're hearing something here first. We just confirmed Las Vegas, Nevada on July 27th. That's the Progressive Comedy Tour. Me and Graham Elwood, we're going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, July 27th. More details for that show are coming very, very soon. Guys, you're awesome. If you want to support the show on the sustainability end, please do consider becoming a patron. Pay what you can level. You get all kinds of exclusive content. Help keep the show on the air. And they demonetize me left and right. You guys are awesome. I will see you in 40 minutes. Well, less than that. More like 30. Yeah, you get the idea. 11:30 Pacific time, 2:30 Eastern. Me and Peter Douche are going to be live right on this channel. Check it out. You guys are awesome. Thank you for being part of this. I'll see you in 40 minutes, or I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully both.